Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, and this is not the usual gaming content that I usually like to do. So first off though, it has been very weird recently. And that's because it says that China has actually banned video games from playing online video games during the week. I mean, not entirely, but I mean, it's only 3 hours every week. And to be honest though, not any 3 hours of the week. Specifically though, specifically though, weekends and holidays between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. And of course, this applies to everybody under the age of 18. And to be honest though, I think every China with region, so this includes Hong Kong and Beijing. Honestly though, I feel that Hong Kong is going to be independent very soon. But yeah, honestly though, yeah, right now it just includes Hong Kong. It's pretty sad, gonna be honest though. Alright, so let's go ahead. So it says China has barred online gamers under the age of 18 from playing on weekdays and limited their playtime to just 3 hours on most weekends, making a significant escalation of restrictions on the country's massive gaming industry. So honestly though, especially for the gamers out there that's under 18, I mean honestly though, it is kind of good to restrict yourself, but considering it's a government law, really doesn't help themselves a lot. I mean, to be honest though, like, what if they play more than the threshold as well, more than the limit as well? I mean, they get sent to jail. I mean, what if you do it without realizing it? Still get sent to jail, I think, probably. Alright guys, so yeah. And of course, this is not any on weekends though. Minors are only allowed to play of the time between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Fridays, weekends, and public holidays. So yeah. So yeah, personally that's just bombarding, I have to say. I mean, to be honest though, setting a specific time as well, it's kind of outrageous as well. I mean, it's up for the parents to decide as well. It's up for the parents to decide as well. So yeah, right now the move represents a huge tightening of earlier limits set by the agency in 2019, which was restricted play to 90 minutes on weekdays and 3 hours on weekends for children. So yeah, authorities said that these restrictions were put in place to help prevent young people becoming addicted to video games. So surely though, you know when you're addicted, if for example, you get like angry over like small things, pretty much any negative emotion over like small things, and then pretty much you don't want to do anything else family related. That's not actually the case with me, but surely there are a lot of other people that are glued to their video games. Like for example, they're glued to like especially those violent ones. I mean, which is why I usually don't stick with those. I usually stick with Minecraft. Alright, then the next paragraph says the NPPA noticed this week that the rules are being issued at the beginning of the new school semester, putting specific requirements for preventing the addiction to online games and protecting the healthy growth of minors. So, by the way, guys, they just put it in a week in advance. I mean, honestly though, they should have just done it with a few months in advance. I mean, they just didn't notice it until now, maybe, probably. So I mean, yeah, considering that, I don't know, China may go virtual again. I'm not sure. But yeah, considering that they're going virtual, really doesn't help. Alright, so by the way, I will be skipping some parts that's because some of them may not actually be important, so of course. In recent months, China has embarked on a major clampdown on private enterprise, which has amplified some of the country's top players. So yeah, guys, for the video game things, the top players, it has been really rough for them because of these restrictions. Initially, it appeared that regulators' main targets was the booming tech sector, but lately that has expanded to reach other industries, such as private education as well. So yeah, that's pretty weird as well, so yeah. Alright, let's go into the next idea. So technically at a news conference Monday, a spokesperson for the NPPA said there are the strict new curbs that were in response to complaint from parents. So yeah. So yeah, guys, and of course, many parents said that teenagers' addiction to online games seriously affected their studies and physical and mental health, leading to a series of social problems, making many parents suffer, said the unidentified representative, according to a report by Xinhua. So yeah, honestly though, that's not really the case with me. Although I although I kind of lack practicing of instruments, I can pretty much utilize them better. I mean, yeah. Alright, so then next off, in recent years, the Chinese government implemented a registration system which required people who play computers to do so under their real names, allowing companies to check up on them. I mean, what if the games are exposed to the... I mean, like, what if that game is, like, exposed to the rest of the world? I mean, the real names is gonna be highly exposed to actors, so the hackers, I mean, that's pretty much extreme. So yeah, this... Alright. So this week, it is reiterated that the policy with the NPN noting that online game enterprises shall not provide game services in any form to users who have not registered or logged in with their real names. I mean, it kind of does make sense though. I mean, although there are ways to bypass it, but honestly though, if I were in China, I wouldn't do it. But proving my previous points, I really don't think it was good, especially as a government law. I mean, considering that even if you go a bit over the threshold, you get sent to jail. Oh, so by the way, guys, we're skipping some. So of course, we're gonna talk about the games that have been actually limited. An example as well. For example, Honor of Kings is another game as well. So the Chinese tech giant has already made headlines earlier this month for announcing limits on the amount of time minors could spend playing the company's online games, such as the popular title Honor of Kings. So yeah. Well, in this case, minors could play for only 2 hours on holidays and an hour on other days as well. So yeah. So that statement actually came... That statement came after a newspaper owned by Xinhua published a lengthy analysis that used terms such as spiritual opium and electronic drug to describe the harmful effects of gaming on children. So by the way, they made this word as well. I mean, surely you can also get addicted to drugs. Drug addiction is also a thing. And I mean, the more you get addicted to it, you'll be like glued into the game. But I mean, that's pretty extreme actually, especially for a government rule. I think I said it a lot of times already. And of course, you know, all those drugs, like for example, alcohol, pretty much. So that marijuana, and then cannabis, pretty much all those drugs right now. All those like stimulants, yeah, pretty much. Alright, so it says NetEase immediately respond for a request for comment. So yeah, technically. The new rules prompted outcry on Chinese social media, where many users complained they were too strict. I kind of agree on these as well. So I mean, some people actually do play for a long time, but I mean, they aren't literally glued. I mean, but they still want to do something related to the family, other stuff as well, that's good for them. Other necessary stuff that's good for them as well. So yeah, that's the case right now. I kind of agree with this. So yeah, this policy presumes that gaming is bad, wrote one user on Weibo, China's Twitter-like platform. Alright, so Weibo, yeah, technically it's China's Twitter-like platform. Well, to be honest though, since China pretty much banned YouTube anyway, so yeah. Nobody really sees these videos. Nobody in China really sees those videos, unless you have a VPN. Well, but I mean, I doubt the government even uses VPNs. But I mean, some also point out the drawbacks by imposing a blanket ban, suggesting there should be rules that apply for different kind of games and minors of different ages. To be honest, this source of scaling is actually amazing. It's actually a good idea, but yeah, never mind. It's kind of a good idea. I mean, to be honest though, at different ages, different periods of school, I mean, yeah, for example, 5th grade will contain like less knowledge than like somebody from 9th grade, I suppose. Yeah. And technically, I don't know if there are the ages of 7 and 17 the same as another user. Others fretted that it would ultimately put the country behind in the world of competitive gaming. So yeah, according to the previous points, it's technically the same. Technically the same according to that previous area. I said that a lot of times. So yeah, there's threaded that it would ultimately put the country behind the world competitive gaming. Surely though, it's kind of it's actually kind of unfair for those countries. Like for example, China doesn't have the future for esports. Then it's impossible for teens to train with a third user. And then he said kids in other countries will win the champion at 17 years old, while we only start to play the game at 18. To be honest though, it is actually kind of unfair. Like for example though, I mean addiction kind of triggers one brain differently. Like for example, one usually plays like 2 hours and like gets literally glued towards the day and gets literally glued. It, opposed to somebody who plays like 5 hours and then not getting addicted. Like for example, spending time with family. Yeah, doing whatever's good for them, while they're practicing as well. Yeah, pretty much anything other thing as well that's good for them. Alright, so guys, so that's basically my opinion on the China video game ban. So yeah, this is something that has been going on recently. So yeah, August 20th, late August is when this thing has been started, and I think it has been implemented this month. So yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, leave a like to show that you support me. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to click that red subscribe button for me. That's gonna be really appreciative of you.